What's up, Hydra fam? Today we're going to be going over how to change a battery on an arc trainer. So I just want to mention this real quick, just in case some of you guys may have the same issue here. What is causing us to think that this machine needs a battery replacement is when we would turn it on, jump on it, the console would light up, everything would function fine, even the buttons would beep as we press on it. But what was weird was that right here for the Incline, it would be two orange dashes flashing here. The buttons would make beeping sounds when we would press them, but no numbers would show. No numbers would bump up or bump down when we increase or decrease, and the actual incline on the pedals would not change whatsoever. So it would just feel more or less the same. So what we're gonna do is change the battery on this elliptical and see if that makes any changes. So in order to do that, what you're gonna have to do here is take off the back panel, and that's just held on by a couple screws on the sides, either side, and then you can remove that, pretty simple. And then coming inside here, I'm gonna turn on a light real quick so you guys can see. Coming inside the back, there is this motor controller board covered by this plate, and that's held on by a screw here. I already took it off, so once you take it off, you just slip it out. And here is the board. So that's the motor controller board. Underneath is the brake and the belt with flywheel right here. And all you gotta do to get to the battery is actually housed behind this motor controller board. All right, so I put my camera on a tripod right here just to give you guys a better visual, but basically you want to take out this wire, which is held on by two clips. So just pull that out. Here are the two clips right here. Then there's a wire connected to it, or along with this wire, which is right here. Then you want to set this to the side. And then you want to remove this connection right here, put that to the side, and this one down here towards the bottom of the motor controller board, set that to the side. Because when we remove the board, we don't want it to tug on those wires. So you can also take a picture of where the wires were put to make sure you put them back where they belong. Each of these are pretty unique, so whether you memorize it or not, it's kind of basic to figure out where they go. None of them are the same, and they only have one particular slot on the board. But to get the board out, there's screws on the bottom here and here, down here, and there's two screws up here at the top. So you just want to remove those four screws. I already got one of them out. I'm gonna get this guy out. So just gonna remove this, make sure that the screws don't do what I just did. I was just about to warn, make sure the screws don't fall all the way inside the machine, because then you could lose them. Found it. But I guess I'm not following my own advice here. Then get the screw at the top. Screwdriver might be too long. Clearly I need a smaller one, so I'm gonna get another screwdriver that's a whole lot shorter to get those top screws. Already got my nub screwdriver right here. Gonna bring it on up, and then remove these top screws. And these top screws are probably a lot more susceptible to falling inside the machine, so just be careful with taking them out. All right, got the last screw out, and now we can remove the board. So just gonna pull it out like so. Get that wire out of the way. And now you see that we have full free access to the battery that's behind this frame. So I got us a closer look at the battery so you guys can get a better visual. But the battery is held on by this clamp right here, which is held on by a screw that we want to unscrew. And there's the wire for the leads. So we first want to disconnect the leads. So we got this guy disconnected. And now we can unscrew that clamp right there. Now, when you unscrew that clamp, the screw's gonna wanna fall and the clamp's gonna wanna fall, so make sure you use both hands to catch them as you're unscrewing it. But we got those out, and now all we have to do is take the battery out. So it just slips right on out of the hole. All right, so I got the old battery right here and a multimeter to test voltage. It's set to DC volts, and what we're gonna do is see if this battery is dead or not. So the minimum you wanna see on these is 12 volts since it's a 12-volt battery. So let's put our connectors on the terminals, or the leads on the terminals right here, and our multimeter is showing 1.5 volts. So this guy is definitely dead. Now, if you find out you have a dead battery, you could try to recharge it and revive it, so that way you don't have to go out and buy a whole nother one. We use the Noco Genius 1 device to charge batteries. We've tried charging several batteries in the past, successfully managed to revive one of them. The other ones we couldn't revive, but I think it's because the actual battery internals were damaged. But you could try that. The Noco Genius 1 also has a force charge feature, so even something as low as 1.5 volts or 1 volt, you can try to force charge it to get it up to a certain point where the Noco device can now then fully charge it, if that makes sense. So that's kind of cool about that device. They're very cheap on Amazon. You can buy it. We are not sponsored by them, just mentioning it out there for those of you that may want to save money. Now, if you do not go that route and instead you want to buy a battery, we actually sell some of these. I'll put a link in the description, and I'll also attach batteries to our YouTube video where you can see a selection and you can click it and buy it. So let's move forward and replace this battery with a brand new one. Now, I got this brand new battery right here, and before we install it, we actually want to measure the voltage on it, because sometimes manufacturers or places, wherever you buy these batteries from, they could have these sitting on a shelf for a while and the voltage on it will start diminishing or start lowering. So again, we want to see a minimum of at least 12 volts on these guys. So let's measure this just to see if it's good, even though we just bought it. And look at that, 12.77 volts. That is perfect. So let's move forward and install this bad boy. All right, to reinstall the battery, we just want to do all the steps in reverse. So we're gonna insert the battery here, set it on the platform. It's gonna sit snug right there, just so you guys can see it. And then we have to connect the leads again. And now we install the clamp where it needs to be with the screw. So this could be kind of tricky, but what I did was I put the clamp on the battery, then I took the screw and with my hand reached in and tightened it up a little bit, so that way it would hold the clamp in place and also the screw wouldn't fall to the bottom. So now with the screwdriver, I can tighten the screw up. So now we're going to put the board back in, which is simply slides in like this, and screw in the screws here on the 4 corners and reattach all the wires that we did before. All right, so I got all the connections back on the board screwed in. Now, there are some things I want to mention just in case you guys might end up doing this by mistake, is you want to make sure that this wire is seating under, or not under, but inside this divot area right here. That's where it seats, that's where it rests, just right up there. And then second is with this wire, when I had it laying out here, when we first took all the wires out, it was hanging out here, and when I installed it like this. Now, you might make that same mistake. Don't do that, because this wire is covering over this frame and the screw hole where the top plate sits. So when you're installing this, you want to make sure you bring it around over here in the inside of the frame, plug it in, so that way when you install that top plate, it covers over this and it doesn't pinch any of the wires. So Just something to note. Now we can install the top plate, and the top plate just covers over it, and two of these pieces go inside slots. So we got the top plate on, and you can see that it's right over the screw hole. Another thing I want to mention is this bottom corner right here, you see the wires coming out of it. You want to be careful when you install the top plate that this edge of the plate doesn't pinch any of these wires. Some of these wires could be hanging out a little bit more over here, and this could pinch it. So just make sure these wires are coming out of this bottom corner and that nothing's getting pinched. All right, I just screwed in the top plate. Now it's time to put on the back cover. So this is how we face it. I did have to put in a screw up here. You guys are not gonna need to do that, but that was from a previous project me and Will were working on. But all you gotta do is slide the back cover in. It has this little notch right here, or this little, not notch, but insert, and there are holes you wanna slide it through. But pretty easy. And then you just screw in the sides, and you should be good to go. All right, so with the new battery in, what we're gonna do is test to see if we can see numbers now on the incline side, and also listen to see if the incline adjusts on the pedals. So we're gonna move the handlebars to get this thing going, because it's self-generating. And before, we had these two dash marks, and that's all we saw in the middle of the screen. It's kind of at the bottom of the screen, but we're gonna press quick start. And now we can see numbers. So now let's bump it up. Awesome, so now we can bump up, bump down, incline. So your incline issues most likely is because you have a dead battery. So you're gonna have to replace that. I can hear the incline adjusting on here. You could even see it below. So that solved the problem. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Please leave a like if this video helped you out, and share with anybody that you know is suffering the same problems. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this in the future.